Hey guys, Mr. Gucci here, and what I am here to do is walk through the homework with you and do some sample problems, okay? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open the homework. In this video, I'm going to go over problems 1 through 4, and the next video, I'm going to go over problems 5 through 8, okay? So let's do this. Okay, so your first step, of course, is to enter your name. All right, I'm David G. Right, and enter your school ID. Okay, I'm just entering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yours is going to be different. You have to enter your ID because that is what determines what numbers you will have to work with in this worksheet. If you don't enter your ID, all your numbers will be off and I won't accept your worksheet. Okay, so here we go. If someone drives 20.6 kilometers, how many miles did they travel? All right, 1.61 kilometers equals 1.00 miles. Okay, so the way that dimensional analysis works is you have to follow some steps. Okay, the steps are identify the known value, all right, the known starting value and the final units. Then you got to turn them into fractions. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, so if someone drives 20.6 kilometers, how many miles did they travel? All right. The known value is 20.6 kilometers. That's what we're starting with. How many miles did they travel? So we have to convert this into miles. So I am going to set up this worksheet. Here we go. And I'm going to actually post my work, I think, this time. All right. So here we go. So here is my sample problem. All right. Problem number 1. Okay, so we had to travel 20.6 kilometers, I believe it was. Let me double check this. 20.6 kilometers, how many miles is that? Okay, so we start with 20.6 kilometers on the far left, and we're going to try and convert it into miles on the far right. Okay, so there we go. So let's get to this. The first step is you don't want kilometers as your unit. You want miles. So we have to get rid of kilometers. And the way we get rid of kilometers is we multiply it by a fraction and put kilometers on the other side. Remember, if you have something that's on both sides of a fraction, it cancels. All right, so if we want to get rid of something in a conversion, we just put it on the opposite side of a fraction. So we can get rid of kilometers. Now, what can we convert kilometers into? All right, that's an important question. If we're getting rid of kilometers, we have to convert it into something else. And that involves knowing, can we convert kilometers into something else? And it turns out we can, because if you look at this problem, you see at the end, I give you the conversion. I tell you that 1.61 kilometers equals 1.00 miles. So we can convert kilometers into miles, okay? So again, the first thing we do is if we want to cancel out a unit, we got to put that unit on the opposite side of the next fraction to get rid of it, okay? And then we have to convert that unit into something new, something whose relationship we know. And we just happen to know because I told you that it's 1.61 kilometers for every 1 mile. Okay, we've canceled kilometers. And now the units that are left are miles, which is what we wanted to get into. So we have finished the number portion of dimensional analysis. We finished the conversion part. Now we just do the calculations. Okay? Here we go. All right, now we do the calculations. So we multiply across the top to get the top value. 20.6 times 1 is 20.6. All right? 1 times 1.16 on the bottom is 1.61 on the bottom. Okay? Here we go. We got to do a little bit of division to solve this problem. 20.6 divided by 1.61 equals 12.79503106 miles. Now, we only had 3 significant figures going into this, so we are only allowed 3 significant figures at the end. We can keep the 1, the 2, and the 7. That rounds up and becomes an 8. So the answer here is 12.8 miles. All right. 20.6 kilometers is 12.8 miles. That is the answer. And I'm just going to put it into the answer checker to see if I got it correct. All right. 12.8. Hey, 12.8 miles is correct. Great. Okay. On to number 2. Okay. Number 2. A fish tank holds 15.6 gallons. How many liters is that? So let's take a look at problem number 2. Okay. One thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to insert page break. Insert page break, page break. Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. Problem number 2. Man, I want this to look like correct. So, blank page. That doesn't work. No. All right. Well, I guess this is gonna look a little bit out of order, unfortunately, guys. So, what can I do? All right. Technology, yay. Okay. So, let's do number 2 now. All right. Number 2. All right. So, once again, problem number 2 on my sheet, at least, is we are trying to convert. Here, a fish tank holds 15.6 gallons. How many liters is that? Okay, we are starting with gallon, 15.6 gallons, and we are converting it into liters. So let's do this. Starting amount on the left, 15.6 gallons over 1. And we are trying to convert it into liters. All right, so here we go. This is, I think, a pretty straightforward one. Now, once again, we have as our current units gallon on top. We want liters, which means we have to get rid of gallons. And to get rid of a unit, you have to multiply it by a fraction with that unit on the opposite side. Remember, if you want to get rid of a unit, you have to put it on the opposite side of the fraction. Okay? So we want to get out of gallons, and what can we turn gallons into? All right? You've got some options. Maybe I know that, 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. All right, and then maybe you can get from quarts into liters. You could do that. That could be a 2-step problem here. But in fact, I give you the conversion here. All right, I tell you that 1.00 gallons is equal to 3.79 liters. So we can actually get right from gallons into liters. All right, and sometimes when I give you these conversions, you may want to write them down because they will help you in the future. It's always going to be 1 gallon is 3.79 liters. All right, so 1 gallon goes on the bottom, 3.79 liters goes on top. Gallons cancel. And once again, take a look. Now we have liters as the unit on top, which is, that's what we want our answer to be in. So now we know we're done with the conversion portion of this problem. Okay, so now we can just do some math. Okay, here we go. On the top, 15.6 times 3.79. 15.6 times 3.79. On the top, I get 59.124 liters. And on the bottom, 1 times 1 is just 1. Okay, so that's fine. That's easy to do. Divide anything by 1, it's just itself. So we have 59.124 liters. All right. However, we went in with only 3 significant figures at the start, and so we have to limit ourselves to 3 significant figures in our answer. All right, so the answer is 59.1 liters. 59.1 liters. Okay, does that work? Does it work? Let's check. 59.1 liters. Let's plug it in. 59.1 liters. That works. That works. Okay, great. On to the next one, all right? How many minutes are in 31 years? All right? How many minutes are in 31 years? Let's give this a go. How many units or how many minutes are in 31 years? So, our starting amount here is 31 years. That is our starting amount. In fact, I'm going to erase this. If this goes long, I want to put this all the way on the left. All right, and what are we converting it into? We are converting it into minutes. Okay, so we are getting out of years, and we're trying to figure out how many minutes that is. All right, maybe give myself a bit more space. Okay, cool. Here we go. Now, once again, the units on top here are years, but we want minutes, so we have to get rid of years on top. How do we do it? How do we get rid of years on top? We do it by multiplying a fraction with years on the bottom. All right, to get rid of years on top, we got to put years on the bottom. Okay, trying to get rid of that. All right, now here's the tricky part. What can we convert years into? Okay, what can we convert years into? Well, hopefully y'all thinking about this, y'all know some way to turn years into something else. And sometimes in dimensional analysis, you're just going to take a shot at something, okay? Me, I know that we're trying to get from years to a smaller unit of time, and I happen to know that 1 year is 365 days, okay? So I can go from years into days. 1 year on the bottom, all right? 365 days on top, okay? It's 1 year, all right? The 1 goes with the year, and the 365 goes with the days, okay? So it's 1 year is 365 days. All right, great. Now I've gotten out of years, I've canceled years, and I am in the unit of days. I am in the unit of days here. Now, what comes next? Okay, well, we're in days, but we don't want days. We want minutes as our unit for the answer. So we got to get out of days. Oof. Hello? Who am I speaking with real quick? I'm in the middle of recording an educational video. Thank you. Can you call back in like an hour or so? Thank you. It is what it is, folks. All right, so we don't want days as our unit, and so we got to get rid of it. We're going to put it on the bottom. Remember, if we want to get rid of a unit, we got to put it on the opposite side. And so now the question is, can we convert from days into something else? Now, if someone said, oh, Mr. Gucci, can we go from days to minutes? Can you? Do you know how many minutes are in 1 day? I don't. All right. So I got to break it down into something else. Okay. I do know that a day is made up of hours, 24 hours to be precise. And so I can go from days into hours. 1 day is 24 hours. Great. All right. I want to erase these things here. Okay. Cool. All right. Now we have canceled out days and we are in hours. Next step, and I think this is the last step, we want to get out of hours on top. So we got to put hours on the bottom here. And now the question is, what can we turn hours into? All right. Now is when I think you can wrap this thing up, okay? You happen to know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So finally, we can get into minutes, okay? Because 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And look, we've done it. We wanted to get into units of minutes, and we got there. It took a few steps, but we got there. Now we multiply, okay? Across the top, 31 times 31 times 365 times 24 times 60 minutes. 31 times 365 times 24 times 60. So that is 1629360. Okay, minutes on top. On the bottom, it's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. You won't always get that lucky. Okay, so the answer is 16,293,600 minutes. Okay, but, and again, I don't want to say I hate to be pedantic about this, because frankly I love to be pedantic about this, but we started with 2 significant figures, and so we can only keep 2 significant figures here. Okay, so 1,6,000,000 minutes. 16 million minutes. Okay. Alternately, this is one of those situations where maybe you want to do some scientific notation. AO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1.6 times 10 to the 7th minutes. Okay. Now, let's see if this worked. Okay, let's see if this worked here. 16 million minutes, all right? 16. Oh, it's not marking it as correct. What's up here? Well, I think that this is my mistake that I made here, because what I'm seeing here in this number is that I think it should have been 13 point something, but it might have ended up as, 31 point something, but I think it ended up as 31.0. I think I was trying to give you 3 sig figs, all right? I think I was trying to give you 3 sig figs here. So, you know, oops. If this had been what I think it was intended to be, 31.0 years, then you would get to keep 3 significant figures, in which case it would be let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Okay, all right, so that was my mistake, guys, on that one. If it doesn't work out, let me know, and I might have made an issue with the significant figures. Alternately, if you just plugged in what the calculator spat out here, like if you just put like where is it? If you just put like 1,629,3,600 in there as your answer, it would have marked it as correct. I haven't figured out how to get this thing to do significant figures correctly. Okay, so let me go up now. Again, I'm sorry this thing got out of order here. Okay, so now I'm going to do number 4. Okay, number 4. This will be the last one on this video before I move on to the next video. Okay, so how many centimeters are in 10.6 kilometers? That's what my worksheet shows. How many centimeters are in 10.6 kilometers? Again, yours will be different because you're using a different number. But in this case, the known value is 10.6 kilometers. Okay? And we are trying to convert it into centimeters. So here I go. Okay? Here I go. Getting out of kilometers into centimeters. Hopefully now this is making a bit more sense to you. Okay? Here we go. So 10.6 kilometers into centimeters. We don't want kilometers. We got to get out of it. So kilometers needs to go on the opposite side. Kilometers. And the question is, what can we convert kilometers into? Mr. Gucci, can we convert kilometers into centimeters? Maybe, if you know how many centimeters are in a kilometer, or vice versa. All right, we don't really know that. At least I don't really think I know that at this point. But I gave you some conversion factors there. And you can see from that list of conversion factors that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Mr. Gucci, where'd you get that? I got it because I gave it to you in the problem here. But if you don't know, you could look up 1 kilometer equals, 1,000 meters. That's one way you can get there. All right. Maybe You would convert kilometers into miles, miles into feet, feet into inches, and then inches into centimeters. That's one way to go about it. This, I think, is easier, okay? So we can get out of kilometers and we can go into meters because 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Okay, good. So we are now out of kilometers and we are now into meters. But meters is not where we want to go, all right? Again, where we want to go is to centimeters. That is our goal. Our goal is to get to centimeters. So let's do it again, guys. We got to get out of meters, and so meters should go on the bottom. We got meters on top. We got to cancel it out on the bottom. And what can we turn meters into? Well, if you take a look at that little sheet right there, or if you are from a European country, or frankly any country aside from the US, you know how to turn meters into centimeters because 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So we know how to get from meters into centimeters. Mr. Gucci, where did you get that? Where did you get that 1 meter is 100 centimeters? Look, I know it from my memory. All right, I know it because I've taught this course for years. You might know it because you're from Europe and you know that fact, just like an American knows that there's 12 inches in a foot. All right, but even then, if you don't, I've given it to you here. You can see 100 centimeters is a meter. Okay, so 1 meter is 100 centimeters. And now we've canceled out meters. And we've done it. We wanted to get an answer in centimeters, and there we have it, all right? Our answer needed to be in centimeters, and we got there. So now we are ready to do some multiplication. All right, on the top, 10.6 times 1,000 times 100. 10.6 times 1,000 times 100. I get 1060000 centimeters on top, and 1 times 1 times 1 is 1 on the bottom. That's easy. Anything divided by 1 is just itself. So the answer is 1060000 centimeters. That is your answer. Well, wait. Double check. 1, 2, 3 significant figures here. Over here, we've got 3 significant figures. Great. That works out great. All right. So this one works out. The answer just happens to have the same sig figs that we want. Now, I don't like big numbers, so I could also do, all right, 1.06 times 10 to the 6th. All right, that's another way to write this answer. I don't know if it'll accept that in the answer checker. All right, maybe if you did 1.06 E6, let's try that. 1.06 E6. The answer checker accept that? 1.06 E6. Oh, no way. It did it. It did accept it. All right, that's great. So that works. Okay. Also, if you just want to do the number as it was written, like 106, 1, 2, 3, 4, the answer checker. Oh, now it's stuck in scientific notation mode. Format, number. All right, okay, yeah. All right, format, number, automatic. Okay, all right, there we go. So yeah, so there we go. You could do it that way, or you could do the scientific notation way. All right, good, guys. So that was the first 4 homework problems. I hope that helped you. I am now going to look at the next 4 homework problems.